we'll discuss about the internal environment. So far we have discussed about external environment. In external environment, again we have general environment and competitive environment, and under this general environment we have political, economical, social and technological assessment, as well as per proposed by Van der Hesden in 1996 about the scenario planning that pulses the weak signals, and accordingly they plan the organization, formulate strategy to exploit them. Okay. Next comes competitive environment. In competitive environment we got Porter's 5 force framework. Basically it is to access the industry attractiveness. Similarly, next one is the strategic group. Strategic group is to help the organization to identify the competitor relationship. Okay, so that also we have discussed. And the another one is hyper competitiveness as proposed by DFN. In the software sector we often find this type of hyper competitiveness. Okay, so we have discussed the general environment as well as competitive environment. In this one we'll discuss about the internal environment. In this internal environment, first we'll discuss about what is differential farm performance. Second we'll discuss about value chain analysis. Next we'll discuss about the linkages within the value chain. We'll go first with the differential farm performance. There are Porter's 5 force framework, as he proposed in 1980, that it should be organization should frame its strategies based upon the industry characteristics. Okay, so that is positioning strategy. Another one that is called organization strategy, organization characteristics. Based upon the organization characteristics, how you are planning for that one. Okay, so differential farm performance says that there in the same industry there are so many organizations are lying over there with the same resources and capabilities, but each of the organizations have got different deliverables, or some of them perform very good, some of them perform moderate or very low, like that. So it depends on the, even though they are all are situated in the same industry, but their performance, there is value in the performance level. Okay, so that is the differential farm performance. So in this differential farm performance we will see that how they are focusing more on the organization setup rather than organization characteristics, rather than the external industry characteristics. Okay, so the answer to question as to why farms with similar resources which face the same industry structure perform differently. So that is about the differential farm performance. Next we'll discuss about the what is value chain analysis. In value chain analysis we'll discuss about organization on the value chain that will interact with the each of these components to deliver some value to that one. Value, so far we have discussed in the vision, mission, value, strategy. There we have discussed value, which is nothing but we are not going to compromise with our internal system or our internal tenets. We are not going to compromise for some short term profit or gain. So that is the value, means in the vision, mission, value statement. But over here the value is the margin they are focusing, that is the value they are saying. Okay, per unit cost of production is how much. Based upon that one we can find out the how much is the total cost of production. Okay, and based on the difference and what is the per unit revenue or selling price, and based upon that one total sales we can find out, and that total sales price, total sales will be giving us the how much is the total revenue. So the difference or the margin between the revenue and the total cost, that is giving rise to profit. Okay, so higher the profit, higher the value you are finding. Higher the performances outperform, the higher value in terms of profit we will be getting that one. So that is the value over here. Okay, so that and this value chain has been proposed by Michael Porter in 1985, just after 5 years of the Porter's 5-force framework. We have seen that in Porter's 5-force framework there are so many criticisms over there. Okay, so in due course of time he has found out that how different internal means in that in the Porter's 5-force framework he has focused on the positioning strategy, means the bargaining power of buyer, supplier, distributor, all that or the threat of new entrant, threat of substitute, internal rivalry, all those things he has focused was on the external environment. Okay, over here he has focused on internal environment factor, internal, and how some of these things can be collaborated so that it can be deliver some better value to that. Okay, so we'll go we'll see that this value system has got two activities. One is the primary activities and next one is the support activity. Primary and support activities. Primary activities are activities which are directly involved in the creation of a product or services. Okay, similarly support activities are activities which ensure that primary activities are carried out effectively and efficiently. We'll see now what are the things that comes under your primary activities. First one is the inbound logistic. Okay, so inbound logistic is the in the primary activities. What is inbound logistic? These are the value chain activities that cover receiving, storing and distributing inputs to the product. It includes like material handling, warehousing, inventory control, vehicle scheduling and like return to suppliers. The next one is operations. These activities deals with the transforming an organization's inputs into final products such as machining, packaging, assembly, testing, printing and facility operations. So inbound logistic operation. Next one is outbound logistic. These activities are associated with collecting, storing and distributing the products or services to the buyers. Outbound logistic includes warehousing, material handling, delivery, order processing and scheduling. So that is about the outbound logistic. Next one is marketing and sales. So marketing and sales are these like to make a product available to the buyers or buyers to purchase and induce them to buy, like some promotional activities we will carry out, like advertising, promotion, sales force, okay, channel distribution, channel relation, pricing, all these things are coming under your marketing and sales. Next, the last primary activities are the service. These activities enhance or maintain the value of products such as installation, repair, training, part supply and product adjustment. So inbound logistic operations, outbound logistic marketing and sales, and then services. You can just see in this way. This is the input part, this is process, this is output, and after that marketing, sales, and also services. So these are the primary: input, process, output, and after the output the company will not consume by itself, so it will be through marketing, sales, and then after this one is services. So this is just to how you can remember the thing, like operation, input, process, output, marketing, and sales, and services. Next comes support activities. In support activities, like, so that all these primary activities can be taken place effectively and efficiently, that one we call as the support activities. The first one is procurement. That deals with the process of purchasing resources input to support any primary activities. Input to the organization's productive process include things like raw material, office supplies, and buildings. So that is the procurement part. Next is comes the technology development. This activity covers an organization's know-how, how we can carry out the work, its procedures, and any use of its technology that has an impact on the product, process, or resource development. Okay. Next is human resource management. Human resource management, like selection, recruitment, training, development, okay, remuneration, performance appraisal, okay, all these things are this can support, human resource management can support primary and support activities. This not only support this, only the, as we see that support activities are there to support the primary activities. But this human resource management or others also, they are also going to interdependent on each other. Human resource management also, the support activities, they will be helpful, like technology and development, some procedures you are following, human resource management can also adopt those things. Okay. So entire value system, these all they are interdependent. Next, the last one in this one is in the support activities are the farm infrastructure. Okay. This activity usually support the entire value chain, like human resource management or technology development. Okay. Such as general management, planning, finance is coming over here. Okay. Accounting, quality management. Okay. An organization's infrastructure is usually used to support the entire value chain. That means both primary and support activities. Okay, so this is the complete, and from each activities we are getting some means the difference between the revenue and total cost, that gives the profit or the profit margin, or we call that one as the value over there. Okay. So this we have discussed about the value chain system. Then there are like just we are discussing about how there are linkages, how there are, means some of the support activities are there which are supporting all the activities, like HRM or your technology development or your infrastructure. Okay, so these things over here, how we can have a linkages that can give more augmented value through this value chain. Okay, so first one, that is your interdependent and dependent activities. Okay, so these activities, when they are carried out as a whole in the organization, when they are going to get the output, that point of time it is sometime their activities are interdependent, or some are sorry, this is not dependent, this is independent activities. There is some mistake over here. So some of the interdependent, some of the independent activities. Okay, so in the interdependent activities, like take for example just in time, means whenever you are placing the order, immediately it is deliverable at your place. Like we are placing order in Amazon or Flipkart, it takes some 5 days, 10 days, or 2 weeks, like that. So in the case of just in time, we are placing the order, and immediately, suppose we are placing the order in Amazon, and instantly we are getting that facility. Okay, so that is, we'll call that one as a just in time. Okay, or take for example, suppose you are placing order for some e-book, immediately you are getting that one. Okay, that one also be called as just in time, or we are not there is no waiting time over there. Okay, so just in time is going to, this is interdependent, like your inventory cost as well as material handling cost. Both these things are getting influenced or reduced if we are implementing just in time. The interdependent activities like material handling or inventory cost, these things are also getting reduced. Further, there is, Porter has also focused upon this optimization and coordination. Okay, like some of this he has focused that if you are optimizing and proper coordination with the different value activities, that point of time also it will be giving, this linkage also can give you a better value or a profound value. Okay, like suppose you are investing on the more on the preventive cost, like product design or quality of material. Okay, or on these two things, product design cost and quality material cost, you are increasing. So as a result of which the repeatedly maintenance cost, okay, that one is going to be reduced. Okay, so what you are doing is that you are planning out that if I am going to put much on the, if I am not putting on the appropriate amount for the product design or appropriate quality of material, I am not utilizing, or I am not optimizing that one, then what will happen is that the dependent one, that is the maintenance cost, is going to be increased. Okay, so if I am optimizing, that means if I am reducing in a I am increasing the product design cost and quality material cost, as a result of which what will happen is that material cost is going to be reduced. Okay, so that is optimization, where we are going to allocate the fund so that the some part will be, the cost would be cost of the company can be minimized, and for doing that one we have to have coordination among different, like product design is taken care by the R&D department. Okay, quality of material is being taken by the manufacturing department. Okay, and then after maintenance cost is by some maintenance part is taken care by some other things. Okay, but if you are going to, we are optimizing, that is the product design should be appropriate as well as the quality of material is also appropriate, then the maintenance cost is going to be reduced. Okay, so the optimization and coordination is also important in order to deliver the more value or profit margin to the existing system. Then there is another one, is that source of synergy. What is that source of synergy? Suppose two businesses of the same company are of the same companies are there. Okay, and they are purchasing some raw material from some suppliers. Okay, now if instead of different units of that same organization placing the order separately, if they will combinedly place the order, okay, or they will have a established synergy, as a result of which they will place the order, at that point of time they will be getting a price discount over there, isn't it? Because the cost, the number of units you are purchasing is more, as a result of economies of scale, so you can get the benefit out of it. Okay, or take for example, suppose one company is there who is having the operation in some overseas location. Okay, in the same location, the same infrastructure or the physical infrastructure that we have got, the office space or something, that can be utilized for both the different units of the same organization. Okay, so that way we are basically, how you are reducing the cost so that it can have the better profit margin. Okay, like here in the interdependent one, we are using just in time, and we are getting the benefit in the terms of inventory, reduced inventory cost and material handling cost. Here optimization, we have implemented product design, quality material, and maintenance cost is reducing. Okay, how we are three different department coordination we are, like for product design R&D department, quality of material by the by the production department, and material maintenance by some other maintenance department. So three department we are having the coordination. Sorry. And then we are optimizing that how much we can allocate for the product design and quality of material, so that this one would be reduced. Okay, next one is the we just like we have used that source of synergy. Two same companies, two different units are there, how they can utilize their resources so that that cost can be reduced. Okay, lastly we will discuss about make or buy decision. Okay, sometime what happen is that the organization, they have to take the decision whether they have to make it within their organization or they have to buy it. Okay, make or buy decision. Okay, sometime what happen, this decision, like we have got a set of value chain activities. Okay, like primary activities, support activities. Similarly, supplier also has got primary activities, support activities in their value chain. Over here also they have got primary activities and support activities value chain. Okay, so if the organization is going to collaborate with the value chain activities of both these player, of the best of the supplier value chain and with the best of the organization in collaboration with the value chain of the suppliers activities, best of the to get the best of the suppliers value chain, and also sometimes they can also collaborate with the customer for getting the best of their value chain activities. When they collaborate with the organization, getting collaborated with the supplier, that point of time we call that one as a upstream value stream, and here it is downstream value. Okay, so in the case of suppose we can some point of like here suppose some supermarket is there, they are buying the things from there, from some one organization is there, they are purchasing the things from their suppliers with a bulky items. At that point of time the supplier is going to be relaxed in maintaining the inventory. Okay, so they can deliver these things to the organization. Some of these activities, suppose you have to, like Adam Smith's division of labor, from there the whichever is best you focus on those things. Other things where you are not best, you can outsource these things from the either from the supplier side or from the customer side. Supplier side upstream, or if when it is from the customer side, it is downstream one. Okay, and apart from in the value chain, there is also another thing that we have we have discussed about the value chain system. What are the like what is differential farm performance. Then we have discussed about the value chain system. In the value chain system we have got primary activities and support activities. Okay, and along with this, for the both the primary activities and support activities, again there are three different other activities are there for both these primary and support activities combinedly. The three, what are they? First is direct activities, like creating value for the buyers. Okay, so that is called as the like product design, is combination of primary activities and support activities, and combination of the value chain with direct activities creating value for buyers. Indirect activities allows direct activities to take place, that is regular maintenance activities. Okay, and another last one is that combination for the both primary and support activities, that is the quality assurance. Appropriate quality is maintained. Okay, like monitoring and testing part, so that is the coming under the quality assurance part. Okay, so this this is all about the primary the value chain activities, and then we have discussed about the what is the benefits of linkages within the value chain, so that we can reduce the cost as well as we can, and simultaneously the profit margin would be increased over there. Okay, so this is all about the internal environment part 1 that has focused on the value chain system. Okay, thank you.